Hi, I'm John, welcome to the gun shop, and today we're going to be looking at this, the Beretta A302 12-bore Semi-Auto. Alright, so this particular model is a 28-inch barrel, 14.5-inch stock edition, and it weighs in at 7 pounds. On the back, we have the Beretta hard heel plate. At this point in time, and it's a 1984 gun, they didn't make the interchangeable heel plate, so you don't got to have that wonderful ability to change stock length, so you are stuck at 14.25 without doing some actual gunsmithery. Stock is lacquered, and all the 302s came with this kind of lighter honey style wood, if you like. Later on in the 303s they darkened them down. I think they realised that was a better option. The action is immensely heavily engraved. Quite heavy scroll work, although it's just rolled on there, so it's not technically engraving, but it does look quite pretty for what it is. And again, your other side does says much the same and has a 302 12-bore on there, just in case you get confused what cartridges you're supposed to put in it. The checkering at this point is still hand done, actually, and that's really quite pleasant. Not that it makes much of a difference because it's a very coarse checkering. This is sort of an out-and-out, very practical gun. This is what they were really designed for. On the side you have bolt release. On the bottom you have a little tongue. If you press this tongue in, your bolt will hold back. Press the button on the side, the bolt will go forward. Pressing this button will also release a cartridge from the chamber. That's as much as I have to say. On the side you have the mag cut off, so you can cut your mag off. Again, in all my years of shooting I've never actually used one of those for anything other than just curiosity value. The A302 did not have shims. Unlike the 390s that came after, 391s certainly had a shim kit that came with it, so you were fairly stuck with whatever dimensions came with the gun. So again, this is more of a traditional fit gun. If you want to have your gun fitted, you need to fit it. It's not a all-rounder semi-automatic. The barrels were a game barrel. I think the 303 was the first to actually introduce a sporting spec with a wider rib and all that sort of thing. And it has the same slim forend the 301 had. It's worth saying at this point that the 301, 302 and 303 all have more or less interchangeable parts, which is fairly wonderful in terms of spares. They are obviously still available. The charge and handle is quite small, but it's not designed for practical shooting or a particularly fast pace of fire, as no guns were back then. Yeah, mag cut off. How exciting was that? Your front nut's a small little thing, not that that's particularly exciting. And on the front you have multi-chokes. It's not a mobile choke, as you can see. You're threaded for a bead type. This one has had it taken out. To change your chokes on this, you unscrew the front. Your choke pulls out. It's got a little ring on there that just stops it going too far into the barrel. And as I say again, these are still available. They're just not quite as common perhaps, or reasonably priced second-hand as mobile chokes, because not so many of them were made. And there she is. So, value-wise, this one is £250. You can pick up 302s from the sort of £200 mark up, but you can expect to pay anywhere up to touching on £400. Anything more than that, I'd really start to look for a 303. The 303 had a slightly deeper belly on the fore end and was just a bit more practical and usable. So, just to give her a quick strip, show how it works. This front nut comes off. Again, you don't have a lot of purchase on here, so you do have to keep these clean. They're built from an era where you really had to look after your semi-automatics, unlike now where they are a bit more forgiving than they ever were. The forward wood comes off and reveals your fairly bare inside. As you can see, you have a very nice large piston. This was upgraded on later models to make them more efficient. These guns were built for 32 gram cycling. However, they will cycle lighter loads, but they can start to get fussy if you're not talking about 70 mils or low recoil cartridges. To take the bolt and assembly out, as you can see there's no spring on the front, which means you have a rat tail spring in the back there. Just push your bolt back ever so slightly, take the charging handle out. Helps to flip the gun upside down at this point, just to take the rat tail from over the hammer assembly, and the whole lot will come forward. Again, we'll show you this because it is worthwhile cleaning them. As you can see, this just pulls apart into its major components, ready for a little clean off, and then it's ready to go back together and work for a long time. To take your trigger out, it's a nice simple operation of push this pin out, press the silver button on the side and pull this down. Couldn't get any easier than that, right? Assembly, again, is very easy. If you hook your two bits together, this bar flips over the side like this. It comes over your mag tube, make sure your tail's inside, and it should all just kind of drop together like that. And whilst the bolt is still halfway back, put your guarding handle in. Keep this clean. This is your gas piston. Again, this is a gas operated gun, so you've got your two ports in the barrel there. Make sure they're clean at all time. And when you look down your barrel and you can see those two holes, that is just your gas holes. That's not anything major. We do get a few people come in here worrying their guns have got big holes in the barrels. Which I suppose is a fair one to worry about, but that's not an issue. The trigger is non-adjustable and gold plated, however these guns are nearly 30 years old, or over 30 years old now, so expect triggers to be slightly worn, and you've just got a little safety in front of the trigger there. That's nice and simple. They balance a bit front heavy, as is to be expected by an early multi-choke, but if you take about an inch in front, they're not too bad at all. Which for a semi-automatic isn't bad, considering nowadays we're used to the plastic semi-automatics. A little rebalance, strip the varnish off, put some oil on there, and these guns can really be brought back to life. There's no reason not to have one, apart from they are just a touch dated. That's all from us. Cheers guys.